Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How are you doing today, my friend? I wanted to say good morning because it's 9 a.m. as I'm recording this. I've got my coffee, I've got my morning vibes, I am fresh, I am inspired, I'm excited for this episode, but I almost said good morning. So good morning to those of you that it is morning, and good afternoon and evening to those of you in other parts of the day. Okay, now that everybody's included, except those of you who are listening at like 4:30 and you're like, I have a question, am I afternoon or am I evening? Anyway, we are all included here. So today's episode is going to be really good. I'm really excited. We're talking about the energy coming up for 2026. And I'm going to be talking about intuitively the energy I feel, but not just the astrology or the cosmos, also where we are in our growth and what's coming next for us in our life when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to growth and evolving, that type of energy as well. So we're going to talk a little bit numerology, Chinese astrology, sort of the out there, the stars, the energy, and then I also want to talk about the tangible, the right here, the themes that are calling us on earth and moving us forward in this next, segment. But before we dive into all of that, if you're new here, hello, hi, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. My name's Talia Joy. I'm a spiritual guide, life coach, transformation artist. I'm also an intuitive channel. So I really help you move into your next phase physically, emotionally, spiritually, with tangible practices, as well as channeled guidance and higher consciousness information from your soul, from your team, that type of thing. So when I work with my clients, we're working from both angles. We're working from all angles, really. I'm channeling and helping them to, hear those messages from their soul, from their team, that type of spiritual guidance as far as their biggest growth and evolution and the lessons and, that type of thing. And we're mixing that with personal transformation, with self-growth. So when we talk about limiting beliefs and we talk about moving through things, I make it very tangible, but there's always that sprinkle of magic in everything that I do because I am a channel and they guide me in really everything that I do. So I'm excited that you are here. I'm so happy that our paths have crossed, and this is just going to be a really good episode to land on. So before we dive into all of that, I wanted to mention my free bundle. If you have not grabbed it, it's called Micro Doses of Magic, and it's 3 short press play audios that you can bring into your life to bring grounded energy, centered energy, magnetic energy, really into your day, whether it's the morning, evening, or night. Funny that I said that whole thing about morning, evening, and night earlier. We've got a press play ritual to start your day, one for a midday reset, and one to end your day powerfully. So I recommend grabbing that. You can see everything that I'm talking about in the show notes below. That is called Micro Doses of Magic, which then also brings me to Life of Magic. We are running another live round. We are starting January 1st. This is the January 1st challenge of this year. A lot of you know that I have run something at January 1st, like a challenge, a something, 15 days, 30 days, something for over 10 years. I think pretty much every year. We used to do Best Self every day, and you guys know. Anyway, but this year we are doing Life of Magic, which is the thing I need to say that I have had the most potent feedback on. Like the feedback about it being life-changing, about it moving you forward more in, 21 days than people had moved forward in a whole year. So we've already done a live round. We've already had the potency. I've seen in real life how powerful this program is, and I invite you into Life of Magic. Do not sleep on this. It is going to really set your life up and your 2026 up powerfully. And I don't just say a bunch of fluff words, because in this experience, we are blending quantum physics and the laws of the universe, such as the law of cause and effect. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause, meaning if you drink water, it has an effect. If you go for a walk, it has an effect. So day by day, we're breaking down things in a very simple way while sprinkling in that magic, that, manifestation energy throughout the whole thing, but making it very real. You cannot help but be shifted by this experience. So what it is 15 minutes a day or less, hosted on a private podcast. So every day you're just listening to a short audio, and for the live round, we are taking taken it into a Telegram live chat where we have different rooms. You can ask questions. I will be there for the 21 days, almost every single day, dropping channeled messages, audio, and just a little bit more to do with that day's topic. So you will get such an incredible experience to launch your year strong. I highly recommend you doing this for yourself. So join us in Life of Magic. The next thing I am so excited to share is my book, you guys. Yes, the book that you've been hearing about for years, and I'm all my book, and I'm writing my book, and I'm going away to an Airbnb to write my book. And you guys are like, okay, where's my book? It is coming. So 4 years ago on January 1st, I started writing this book. I am so excited. And on January 11th, 2026, my book will be released and available for you to read. I'm so excited. First of all, it's called The Delicate Art of Transformation. And this is really not just a fix yourself book. It's a guide to moving through real transformation. The ups, the downs, the goo phase, the messy, the healing, the expansion, the irony, the laughter, the breakdowns, the breakthroughs, the roundabouts, all of it. Everything we talk about here on the podcast and everything that my work is poured into this book, The Delicate Art of Transformation. And it's funny, right? Because transformation is often anything but delicate, but it's when we learn to see the seasons in our growth, when we learn to mirror the process of the caterpillar moving into the butterfly, which is a key part of the book, and really learning from this. You are in a transformation, and as you allow yourself to evolve and grow, ride the ups and downs, you really do come out the other side in that next level version of who you really are, the butterfly. So I am so excited. The book is coming, and on Instagram, if you follow me there, I'm posting excerpts also to my email list, and I'll be sharing here too on the podcast a little bit, excerpts from the book, but also behind the scenes story. If any of you have wanted to write a book, I'm going to be sharing sort of how it was to find my voice as an author, little funny stories about how life would slap me in the face with exactly what I'm writing about as I'm writing it. And I'm just going through the growth as I'm writing it and visiting and revisiting these tools and channeling it out. And it was just so good. So if you want to stay close to that up until the launch and then through, just to be excited and have more insider on the book, see you over on Instagram, or like I said, the email list, or I'll be sharing little bits here too on the podcast. Also tangible tools that you can use from the book that you can start using now. So I'm really excited to share all of this with you. Again, January 11th, 2026, the book will be available and you'll be hearing about it. Okay, so without further ado, I know that was a longer intro. We've just got a lot of really exciting things going on. Again, check the show notes for all the links that I talked about and more, including the deep dive mentorship starting January and February. I'm taking applicants and taking people now, starting to fill up these spots, and I only have a couple left. So if you're looking for one-on-one, that's also down below too. Okay, that's literally everything I have to say. Let's dive into today's episode. I'm so excited. Take a breath. Take a sip of your water, drop your shoulders, and let's do this episode. Okay, so this episode is for us as we move into the new year. And if you're listening to this already in the new year, there's going to be so much here about the whole theme of the year, so you can really listen to it anytime. And this is not, I don't know about you guys, but I'm so over the like new year, new me, everything's going to change on Monday type of thinking. I think we're collectively just over that. I know that you guys as my community, we're walking this journey, very similar, hand in hand, experiencing the same lessons and growth and all this stuff. And I just feel like we're over the superficial goals and the like lose 10 pounds in the next 14 days. And, again, new year, new me. I'm kind of like, meh, right? It almost feels like over forcing reinvention or like pretending that January 1st is going to magically fix everything. And again, I feel like we're just collectively over that. But also, let's be honest, there is something very powerful about a fresh start. There is something powerful about a Monday that you're going for a walk and you're starting your week strong. There is something that is, I describe it as a portal when it's something new, right? The January 1st, a new notebook, a new outfit. There's this refreshing. You get a hairdo, right? It doesn't mean that the new hairdo is going to actually change your life, but it is a portal. It's energy that we can jump on to carry us further. So instead of rejecting January 1st and not doing any list, any vision board, anything, because you're kind of over it, or doing all the vision boards and all the lists, kind of going, okay, well, now I'll just wait till January 1st. We want to meet it in the middle. We want to use the energy of a fresh start, of that fresh Monday, a fresh after shower feeling. We want to use that January 1st portal as something that launches us into the next calendar year, because it is 2026. And so we can get, excited about the high vibes of like, oh, 2025 is over. I don't know about you, but it was a very dense one for me. And so there is a little bit of like, okay, goodbye, right? I'm out of here. But it's not that January 1st actually changes our entire life unless we are also in that driver's seat. We are the ones doing that. So let's use the portal and, use that energy without putting all the pressure of the world on us that like by January 15th, we're going, did you do it? Did you do the 10K, or are you doing the 10K steps, or did you do the 10K something else, 10K diamonds? I don't know, whatever we're going for, lots of 10Ks, but it's not about that, but we want to use it as a portal. And the energy that I read, so in a second, I'm going to go into the numerology and the Chinese zodiac, but then I'm going to go more into, and as I end the episode, everything that I feel and my own channel and what I'm experiencing, but to just start to step into that more from my perspective and what I see and feel collectively. 2026 is a year of stepping into things consciously. It is a year that's going to ask for action, but aligned action, conscious action. And again, I'm going to get all into it, and it's going to get super potent in a couple minutes, but it's not a year to... It ties into what I'm saying here about it's not all or nothing. It's not January 1st is going to change your life, because that's almost making it like the responsibility is on the universe. The responsibility is on January, but the responsibility is on you. So to go off that about it's not January 1st, new year, new me, and it's just going to happen. But it is a portal that we can step into consciously. And that is what 2026 is all about. So I don't know if I'm articulating that where you see the parallel there. It's almost funny. But 2026 is that time of being who you truly are, being what you came here to become, and not all or nothing, not 100% sparkles and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're all in the thing. It's more about that conscious alignment and realignment, that conscious inspired action that steadily moves you forward. So before we go deeper into that, let's touch on the numerology for 2026. And it's really exciting because 2026 is a year one, which is so cool because universal year one. Year one is the new beginning. So we were just, and in 2025, it was a year 9, which is a closing out. It's an ending. So the numerology cycle goes 1 to 9 and then it starts back. So it's a closing, it was an ending, it was a completion, it was a shedding, it was a letting go. And oh my goodness, I wasn't even consciously aware of it when I was going through that. I didn't think like crying on the floor, at least it's a year 9. Like I didn't think about that, but it was completely a year of shedding, letting go, rock bottoms, but also completions, endings, with that mentality for myself that I'm clearing for what is next. So it was definitely for me personally a closing out. Curious if it was for you too. And so whether you felt that subtly or intensely, the numerology and in the stars, it's a completion on us also collectively. So most of the people that I've talked to, there's a sense of almost fatigue and exhaustion because it's been a lot of clearing or a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of things that no longer fit, changes that you may not have wanted to welcome. You know what I mean? So it's been a challenging year. And I've seen that in my clients. Not that they're not badass and making moves and moving forward, but we are badass. We are making moves. We are moving forward, and it's hard. This year has been challenging. And I know depending on where you are in the world, there's so much political stuff and things that affect our everyday life. And, it just has been tough. So if 2025 felt like that, it felt like, frickin' 9. It's completion, it's shedding, it's letting go, which is, yes, good, but painful sometimes, right? There could have been grief, just a lot of that face to face with your darkness, because it's asking you, what do you want moving forward? It's that mirror. Anyway, so if that was what you experienced or anything close to that, yes, you are linked up with the cosmos, which is very much what empaths, sentient, sensitive beings, old souls, star seeds, like there is this deeper part of us that whether we realize it or not, it's not just the moon or it's not just Jupiter or Mercury, it's all of it. And this numerology is what that encompasses, like the entire energy of this year. So moving into 2026, which is the important part here, 1 is just different, like 1. Drop your shoulders, take a breath. 1, yes, let's do this. So 1 is asking, who are you now? Fresh beginnings. What are you choosing next? What do you initiate from here? Who are you truly? You can treat it as, if I just started from here to move forward, who would I be? What do I want to step into? What wolf do I want to feed? Do you know what I mean? So it's not really becoming someone new. It's about leading from who you really are, who you actually are. And when I say leading, I mean leading your own life. My clients and what I like to call out in you is being self-driven. That is so important because you are the one leading the bus. You are the one that is stepping into a tomorrow. And so that energy, year 1 is like, what if everything just dissolved and all the limiting beliefs and all the stuff, and you were just fresh now, right here from where you are? What do you want to create? So I'm not saying it as if, from this moment, you should just let it all go. I'm actually saying fresh start. We don't even need to think about it. We just need to be it and move forward. So 1 carries that theme of self-leadership, of courage, of identity, of choice. Yes, I just got massive goosebumps. Year 1 is a year of choice because you're starting from the ground up. You're starting from the beginning in the energy, fresh start. So who do you want to be in your business? Where do you want to look forward to? Who do you want to be as a parent? Who do you want to be as a human, as a woman, as a man, as a human on this journey, as a soul? Who do you want to be in your community, with your partner, out in life, in your art, in your, everyday expression? And that brings a forward momentum of choice. And I really do think with this energy here, if you have considered Life of Magic or you want to redo it, if you did it last time, you can do it again this time for much less. The coupon code is in your inbox. Anyway, but it's this type of energy using physics and forward momentum to move you forward. It's like bringing it down to the ground, making it from the head into the heart. Okay, now I'm starting to channel my energy. I was talking about the universal one, but my energy for what I see in 2026, but it is that. It's like forward motion, choice. Who do you want to be? So to wrap up about universal 1 and this year 1, year 1 doesn't respond to waiting because waiting brings more pause. You pause, it pauses. You pause, life pauses. It just mirrors you back. So it responds to movement. It responds to you trying, to taking 1 aligned step, to making 1 different choice, to doing 1 brave thing because it is time. You only live once this time and it is time. Nothing asks you to say it is time and acknowledge it is time like a year 1. So it's not about frantic movement or hustle. It's intentional action. And that's kind of how I want to wrap up the year 1 part here is like it responds to action. It's a fresh beginning. Who you be multiplies. So starting the year, even just gently with making the intention to drink more water, go for more walks, make a bold move in your business or in your personal life or whatever it is that's calling you. And know that as you take aligned action, you are on the right path. You can kind of take that aligned action and then stop and go, I trust that because I was led to do that, this must be the right path. This must be leading me somewhere better. But just the year 1 asking you, who do you want to be? Who are you being right now? What do you want to initiate from here? It's the starting point. It's the set point of the energy, of the trajectory. So it's really going to also pave the way for the next 9 years. No pressure. Okay, so in the Chinese New Year, 2026 is the year of the fire horse. And I did a little bit of research because I know some of the zodiac Chinese signs better than others, but it's just not where I first dominate. So I actually have a book about it, but I also was looking at some Chinese zodiac websites, pardon me, and really looking into the fire and the horse and how this kind of layers in. And I thought it was really interesting. So it's in February that the Chinese New Year happens. And the horse in Chinese astrology represents freedom, movement, momentum, forward drive. And I kept getting this image of the horse and just, the steadfast legs. And it's like almost a graceful body. Well, not almost, they are. If you watched a horse in slow motion, you're like, holy crap. But the muscle and the steadiness and the power. But also, if you're a horse lover, you'll know this. I don't particularly love horses. I mean, I really do. I think they're beautiful, but I've had some clients that are like very much horse people. But you will know that when you become friends with them, when you hang out with them, if it's your horse or when you have a connection to, they are incredibly gentle and incredibly sentient. They are very connected to you. They're very deep. They feel very wise is the energy I'm getting. So the horse is wise and deep and loyal, but also powerful and independent and forward driving. So the horse in Chinese astrology represents this as well. Forward momentum, independence, movement, freedom, right? Just like go for it. Steadfast toward your goals is what I hear. And then the fire part of it just amplifies everything. So fire is alchemy, it's passion, it's courage, it's intensity, it's clarity. Fire is in some ways, the destructive force that clears everything and you know what? Clears it for new beginnings. So I just thought of course, a forest fire, right? If it clears a bit of forest, then certain mushrooms can grow and as much as it clears out some things, new life can come. And there's certain trees, certain mushrooms, certain plants that only grow where there's been ash. And, it can be utilized for a new beginning. So it all kind of comes in also with the numerology. So the horse is the forward momentum, the power, the fire brings passion, brings intensity, brings alchemy. And I'm just seeing like busting through things. Like use your tools, keep moving, not from hustle, from horse. Do you know what I mean? From fire. So I love that. So fire horse years, when I was looking it up, it's really interesting because it was saying how they tend to feel like they move fast, but also the good tends to move fast. So they ask for authenticity and, honesty and being real, not about stagnation. Don't stay in your stuff. Get help, move through, see a pattern, take a bold action, whether that's drinking more water, going back to the gym or starting a business or putting yourself out there. Like really listen to your heart and do it. You only live once this time. This is the time. Use that fire energy. It will support you. And this is the thing too that I see about things like the numerology or the Chinese New Year, the fire, the horse. These elements, these energies support you. So when you go with it, if I say take bold action, be steadfast, the thing about this year is it won't all be you having to do all of that. So you have to do it, but the energies support you, meaning you'll notice that you do move forward quicker than normal, or you do a bold action and it I want to go poof, it like poofs you forward, but then you meet somebody that's a connection that then opens another door that moves you forward. So we do need to do it, but there's an energy collectively that is supporting you moving forward. So it's kind of like you're trying to, yes, good analogy. I just got this in my mind. When you're in the airport and there's those escalator things, but for a long flat distance, I forget what they're called, causeways or whatever, and you step on them. And if you were to keep walking, it moves you so fast. You feel like you're like speed walking. Get it? Right? So that's a perfect analogy. It's like this year will step you onto one of those long treadmill-y things, but you have to be the one to step and you have to be the one to keep walking, but it's going to move you forward really fast. So I think that made sense. Okay, so what I feel coming, because as you can tell, it's busting out of me through the numerology, through the fire horse energy. I really do feel that similar energy. And how I want to say it is, you can't fake alignment. We cannot fake it till we make it. We cannot bypass anymore. You've gained so many tools. You have so much wisdom, success already, things you've overcome. Like, let's be real, you are a powerhouse and you know that you're meant for big things. Those big things are within you. Your purpose, your passion, joy, fulfillment, that type of big, and also external big, whatever you see for yourself, whether it's real estate or a certain amount of money per month, or a charity, a business, an organization, raising your family to have abundance or security or cars or whatever it is, tangible and non-tangible. It's big for you, what you're here for. And this year is literally welcoming you in with one of those treadmill-y long airport thingies saying like, this way, seriously, this way. And you're like, okay, step on it. So what's not true will feel uncomfortable. I'm getting goosebumps. What is no longer resonant will feel so scritchy. If you haven't already shed it in 2025, you're asked to let things go, walk away. What do I want for myself? What do I want to focus on? Who do I want to spend my time with? So it's really confronting questions, but it's because there's an express path that's looking to take you where you want to go. So 2026, it's urgency without panic. It's urgency from higher self, from soul, from the collective evolution. It's like, now it's time. You're meant for something more. Keep evolving. It is time. It's time to collectively stop circling the same lessons. Stopping waiting till we're ready, waiting for clarity, but for a long time. Stop outsourcing our power for that person or what they think of me, or my worthiness is dependent on how much money I make. Like, nothing outside yourself in some ways matters anymore. And I don't mean like your family and stuff. I just mean where your worthiness is, where your validation lies, where your clarity, your next step, it's all within you. So as you collaborate, if you go to therapy or if you have a mentor, if you're, that's good. Collaboration, input, reflection, so important. Do not be afraid to get help, to sort of latch on to somebody else's energy as you get carried forward. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes like a mentor, a teacher, a course, it portals us forward. So do not be afraid to get help, and your power, your worthiness, and your ability is not outside yourself. This is the time of taking action, of taking responsibility, but in a way where you've already done so much growth that it's just about using the tools and continuing. You're not at square one, you're not a beginner. So we're ready to move through. Year one feels like a year of rebirth. But it doesn't have to be the kind where you burn everything down and start over. There might be many sheddings, but that's what 2025 was about. We are more now. Of course, you will still be shedding the last of it the next couple months and even, as we kind of get into the new year, but it's a new skin. So you don't abandon who you were. We're not even needing to get rid of more stuff in 2026. You've outgrown, so it's naturally shed. So it's like you don't have to dig and analyze and find your money block in 2026. Collectively, manifestation and self-growth, like our consciousness is evolving. You don't have to look for all your blocks. You don't have to analyze every trigger. It's a year of new skin. I am enough exactly as I am, and I'm stepping into my dreams. I can have a limiting belief and still make money. I can be sometimes uncertain and still have a rocking business and be, massively successful. These are things you can believe in 2026. We collapse our beliefs by saying, I can be triggered and still experience magic. I can be unsure and still be moving forward. I'm meant for this. It's a year of rebirth. It's also a year that I see of Balancing flow with action, balancing masculine and feminine, that's going to lead to the success, lead to the power of this year. So the feminine says, I trust, I feel, I receive. It's the creativity, it's the ideas, it's the empathy, it's the heart. And the masculine, which might be what comes out more this year for you within yourself, the masculine says, I decide, I move, I build, I commit. Step by step, we get there. If we fall off, no big deal, get back on. That's the masculine energy. Know your worth. Stand in what you're here for. You commit to yourself. So we've all swung so far in both directions at times. Some of my clients tend to be self-proclaimed type A's. I love you guys. And so you're more in the masculine of like, what the steps do I have to do and how do I get there and am I doing it right? Right? Kind of obsessing over the steps and the structure and how do I know, waiting for the next step, that kind of thing. And I also have a lot of clients that are more in the feminine of like lots of ideas, lots of creativities, lots of feelings, lots of vibes, but having a hard time to move forward. So these are things that we see all the time within ourselves. I definitely see it in the community and in you guys, and it's normal for us. And in this year, it's time to bring it back to center, bring it back to balance. Hustle without soul or vision without embodiment, neither way will you get to where you're meant to be. The life that you see in your mind's eye, what you were always meant to be, which is what is calling you forward in 2026. 2026 asks for integration. I'm seeing it like I hear flow and structure, intuition and follow through, magic and responsibility. Not forcing, but making it real. Taking responsibility for the things you think and the actions you take from a place of love, from a place of realness. And you can ask for help. You can say, you know what, I realize that I'm staying stuck here and I don't know. I'm just going to go back to my therapist who helped me deal with something before. I'm going to reach out and take a course. I'm going to, work with this person. I'm going to read that book on strategy or on this or on that. That's what I mean by moving forward. It's time. So I also want to say on that, what I'm receiving is that it's definitely about embodiment over aesthetics. So it's not about the high vibes only. That was, by now we've been edging out of that for a bit. 2025 was definitely not about high vibes. But this year, as we move forward, it's not about that superficial high vibe. It's not about spiritual aesthetics or saying you're meditating. It's about embodiment, being the change you want to see. So it's not just about the vision board or just about the visualizations in your mind. It's being the change you want to see, bringing it from your head, from your intuition, into your body, into your actions, being the change on the physical plane, in the nervous system, in the actions and the choices that you make in a day, in your boundaries, in your relationships, in your business, in your goals, being the change you want to see. Because manifestation, the very end of it, as I say here on the show, you guys have heard me say, the very end of the process, like when you get the cash or when you get the promotion, that happens in the physical. Like a boss comes to you and says, hey, you've been promoted, you got the job, or the money comes into your bank account, however it happens, it's physical. So when we're just thinking and dreaming and writing and visualizing, we're not bringing it over to the physical. We need to bridge that gap so that it can physically manifest. So it's about embodiment, being the change you want to see. And this year, with it being a fresh start and a year one, and like, what do you want? It's perfect for that. Be the change you want to see in this year. This is where your power really lies. So I feel like as we start to wrap this up, 2026 is slanted toward good. Like I said, it's like the the escalator thing in the airport. I really need to know the name of that thing. But it will move you forward. It's slanted toward good. The momentum is available. The support is available. The connections just waiting to come out of the corners, it is available. But you have to get on the train. Don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to move forward. to, in a moment, almost like get over yourself to go, no, I'm putting on the shoes. I'm just going to go for the walk because it's going to feel so good. I'm just going to do it. Instead of the ping pong, should I? Oh, it's raining, but I said I'd do dinner. Just 10 minutes, just go. That's what we need to almost spark up this year. Don't be afraid to say, I'm ready. Don't be afraid to say, no, thank you, ego. No, thank you, inner critic. No, thank you, self-shaming voice. We are choosing a new path. That's where things change. And what do you actually have to lose? Because the years where we stay in lack of clarity, and those are on purpose too. There's a lot of numbers between 1 and 9, right? Like that wouldn't make sense to anyone else if you didn't listen to the episode. But there's a lot of different years with a lot of different flavors. But this one is a new beginning. So we don't have anything to lose other than more sort of, I don't want to say wasted time because there is no true wasted time, but there is time in my life when I acknowledge we are ready. And now if I also self-sabotage and put it off and not get the help and not get the clarity and not move forward, then I'm just almost, I'm not doing a service to myself. Then it starts to feel like another year of almost, another year of good intentions and no forward momentum. And I don't want that. And I don't want that for you. So this year is a gentle but real invitation to get on the train. This is a beginning, a claiming, a remembering. And you don't have to do it alone. I know you've probably felt too sensitive or too weird or too random or too spiritual or too not spiritual enough. You feel too not spiritual enough. Yeah, that's how it sometimes feels, right? I'm too much not enough. I don't get it. But you are you, and this is a new beginning. Don't be afraid to be who you truly are, and don't be afraid to get support. In whatever way that is, talking to a bestie, reading more on the subject, like I said, going back to your therapist, working with me in the new year, working with a mentor, group things, going back to the gym or joining a fun class. Like you just don't do it alone, but continue moving forward. So as we wrap this up, I really just acknowledge you for being here. For me, 2025 was extremely dense. In sometimes it felt extremely painful and like just miserable to be in. But I went through a massive rebirth from the beginning of 2026 until the end. I truly feel like a different person. My body's released over 25 pounds of weight, which is just blowing my mind because it's just crazy. I feel like I'm responding to life completely different. Even when I'm overwhelmed, I'm trying to have my own back and not shame myself and go regulate my nervous system, come back, clear my mind, go to nature as I need to, drink my water. I've been taking my vitamins consistently, showing up in love, and just most importantly, having so much grace and compassion with myself while having a quiet, like a power, a fire inside of like rolling up my sleeve. Let's fucking do this. It's this confidence and this power of like, I'm unstoppable. Like I am so hungry to step into this next version and step into this 2026 because I do feel like I went through the washing machine of life in 2025 and it was not fun. There were big highs and big amazing things, but up until about August, it sucked. But August to December has been like a breath of fresh air. And I'm just so happy to be on this journey. I'm so grateful to my clients that have been doing this work along with me. And I'm so excited for what's going to come in mentorship in 2026. It's so powerful. So I acknowledge you and what you've been through in 2026, whatever's coming for you. I am so excited. Please utilize the energy of this year. You only live once this time. This is the time. You are ready. It's a claiming, it's a remembering, and I freaking got your back. So check the show notes below for all the things that I mentioned. And other than that, I will see you in the next episode.